You're listening to an Infoblips LLC podcast network production.
Everyone, and welcome to the weekly wrap-up with John and Yancy. My name is John Haynes, and I'm here with my co-host, Yancy Seals.
What up, everybody? How you guys doing today? It is Friday. What's up, John?
Man, I'm great. I'm doing wonderful. Now, you guys also see on the screen another face. Look, this is our good friend, Leland Sparks. Leland Sparks, also known as the Drone Guy San Juan Capistrano. That's right, there it is. So say hello, Leland.
How you doing, family? It's great to be here. Love talking to you guys. Love listening to you guys. I think you have a lot of validity, and I just can't wait to get started.
Wonderful. That is wonderful.
He made us sound great, didn't he?
I know, right? Like we're somebody. Ooh. No. We are somebody. Look, we got a lot to get to today, y'all. And we're gonna get, it's gonna be fast. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're gonna hit it. We're gonna get on it. Anyway, we're gonna be right back with all the top stories that we can cram into this time period right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the weekly wrap up with John and Yancy and our guest host, Leland Sparks. Hey guys, Leland, no, you know what? Yancy, what you got today, man? I got a whole laundry list, brother.
Well, first of all, how long have I known you?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we go back to, I was in Centown in 64.
Arroyo, definitely, yeah.
Arroyo, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
I want to throw that out there. I'm not trying to tell you how old that brother is, but he old. But anyway, hey, John.
You know what? We all old. You guys are younger than me, but we all old though. We all, just for people who are listening around the world and people that know us, we all grew up in the same area, a little place called Centown. You know, we all grew up in the same area in Pomona, California, and that place has developed a lot of good people, a great talent, wonderful talent. It was a wonderful place to live to back in the 60s and 70s when we were there, and we went to the same high school, Ganesha High. So, you know, show some Pomona love, y'all. You know, we are here doing what we got to do, you know, to make things happen, make things happen. All right, man. Yep. So that said, let's get on with it, man. What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm interested in that. What's going on in Tennessee? I want to know what that sneaky ass DeSantis did last night, signed that 6-week law. And then I want to give it on your boy Trump. There's 3 topics I want to talk about.
Okay. All right. Now, there's a couple of things I want to do. Is one, your boy Clarence Thomas. And then, yeah, I know. Yeah, I got to say something about that, man, because there's a lot of stuff going on about that. And then this 21-year-old cadet Jack Douglas. That leaked all this stuff out. North Korea firing a missile. The men of Prestone, the Justice Department just signed trying to get them to stall the courts, because if at 12 o'clock tomorrow, if the judges don't say it's going to be a stall, that drug will not be able to be sold anymore or used anymore. So there's a lot happening. There's a reason why all that's happening that I think is happening. I'm not going to say I speak with everybody's tongue, but I think it's happening. So let's go ahead. Yes, Leland, what do you got?
You know, I'm here to support both of you, and I can talk on each one of those topics because I have my own opinion about what I think is going on, and it's just not right. You know, we can discuss my little drone thing in a minute, but you guys got some neat stuff here, and let's run with it.
Okay, great. We will talk about the drone service because that's important. Yancy, go ahead, start, man.
Okay, first of all, how do my trackers that would happen over in Tennessee? It's the blatant. Okay, I'm not talking about the undercover racism. I'm talking about just flat out outright blatant. Now they're getting serious with the racism. Is what happened. I'm gonna tell you what turned the whole thing around. I believe, I'm not sure if this is true, but you can hold me true because I told you I'm not gonna tell you the truth all the time. John's gonna tell you the truth. I'm not. I'm gonna give you what I'm gonna tell you. It's gonna be what it is. Anyway, I believe that somebody at the higher echelons of the GOP called down Tennessee and said, "What the hell are you guys doing? You guys are screwing up badly. We can't win like this. This is the bullshit. Get them people back in there and we'll deal with them later. That's what happened.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Because listen, man, why would you take the time to expel these guys? Okay. And then all of a sudden, with 2 or 3 days later, bring them back on. Okay. Like you said.
And now they're martyrs. Now, little MLK, that brother MLK, he talking about MLK. He's now a leader in the movement now. And they did it. And
they're right. They did it. And I'm pretty sure the people in Washington do not like that, you know, and I'm pretty sure that's why they voted them back on. I mean, and but that part of it is the part that I can't, well, that pisses me off. I'm not going to say it, is the fact, like you said, the blatant racism, and it's not undercover, right? Even the lady, the white woman that was with them, she said, it's because of the color of my skin. You know, I mean, she's in with this. She knows what's happening there. How the hell, you know, and then everybody just gonna go, well, they're back in now, so don't worry about it. It's okay. You know, it's like, wait, hold up, man. No, the fact that they did it in the first place, that's what should brings everybody's attention to look at them very carefully.
Absolutely.
You know, the part that disturbs me the most is the fact that any conversation about any type of gun control, so to speak, seems to fall into the outrageous. Meaning you're either give me my AK-47 and that's the end of it, or no, we don't want to discuss it in any way, shape, or form. And I don't understand why there can't be a civil conversation. And this, from my perspective, what I'm looking at is the guy that shot the people just bought the gun. These aren't the guys that are the hardliners who already have their guns. These are people with an agenda who are hurt, who are mentally unstable, who have vendettas, who have issues, that are going out and purchasing a gun legally within a month, 2 months, 3 months, a week of just taking it out and killing people. So what you have, you can keep. But what we need to do is vet the people who are coming on board to get guns, because it appears that that short period of time is based on the fact that these people are buying it and then using it immediately in harmful ways.
That's a simple solution. I don't know why we can adapt that. I know why. That makes too much damn sense. That's why.
You see what I'm saying? We're not trying to take anybody's gun, but what we're trying to do is go forward with gun control, which means we will vet them better. We will make them wait longer. We will do anything. But the idea that you can go down and buy an AK-47 and then the next week wipe out a bunch of people doesn't seem to sit right with me. And I don't understand why other people can't see that. Why the GOP is so staunch on that.
No, because the NRA is paying them, man. That's why they're so staunch on it. The NRA is paying them big time. But the thing of it is this, okay? And I agree with you. I remember when I joined the California State, what was it called? California State Police Officers Association. We basically, you know, when we went from security to California State Police for the schools, right? There was a law where when I went to buy my gun, right, I had to have a written a signed form from the somebody in the state up there in the state of California that allowed me to purchase the weapon the same day. Okay. Everybody else, there was a waiting period. You had to have, like, I think it was a 2 day, 3 days, or a week waiting period. I have no problem. 14 days. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I have no problem with, and when we should look at this, the waiting period, I don't have a problem with that. Extensive background check, I have no problem with that at all. If you want to buy a weapon, you should be able to withstand a background check. I have no problem at all. And mandatory school, so you know what the hell you're doing with this deadly weapon that you just bought, right? And then safe storage. I don't have a problem. I don't understand why there's a problem. I'm a gun owner, and I don't understand why the people have a problem with that. I don't get it.
You know, we control we control our automobiles and register our automobiles and can maintain traceability to automobiles. A gun wouldn't be any different. When you transfer it, you go to the DMV, you sign the pink slip saying I sold it to such and such. and that's the end of it. I mean, why can't that even be a part of it? I mean, because this untraceability and the fact that they can take it from here to there without anybody knowing that is no longer there doesn't even make sense. Because if you look at a car, it's there for transportation, but sometimes can kill if something happens. But a gun is specifically made to kill, so why can't it be controlled more than something that would do it only in an accidental way? Because again, this gun control thing drives me crazy, because I don't see how they can just allow AK-47s to be bought in a week and then people be wiped out in a week and a half.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, again, I like it's like Yancy was saying. Honestly, it's because of money, and that's what and it's because of big money. One of the things that I can say is also because I have held one. Ghost guns, man. Those things are serious. Those things are serious because people make those ghost guns, and they make them, and they're very good weapons. And there's no accountability at all. There's no serial number. There's nothing. Okay, my thing is this: if I go to a weapons store and I say, hey, I want 16 boxes of rounds from my AK, right? There should be a red flag that should come up. Okay, like, why do you need 16
Agreed.
boxes? You know, I mean, honestly, at one time, and I'll say it on here, at one time, I had over 400 to 500 rounds for the different weapons that I had, right? Look, I think now if a person has that, they should be able to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, this guy bought, he bought a box of rounds this week. He went somewhere else. He bought another box of rounds, bought another box of rounds. We want to know about this. Not that we're going to mess with you. We want to know who you are, though. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why there's this big, again, besides the money, man. But look, kids are dying in schools, man. Kids are freaking dying in schools. And I have seen people, most people have never seen the damage that a gun does to people. I have, up close and personal. And I've never killed anyone, thank God.
Republicans really don't care about people dying in the schools. That's not their agenda. Their agenda is leave us alone, government. We'll do our own thing. We'll be manage ourselves. And that doesn't seem to be working. Well, it hasn't been working. I don't know how long, but that's their whole issue. Leave us alone. Keep our guns. Let's do what we want to do. And you can't. This don't work that way.
Yeah, they don't want the government to intervene unless it's abortion. Keep going.
Yeah, unless it's abortion. That's absolutely correct. So go ahead.
The other thing about the two guys, like you said, that were expelled, yes, they are basically martyrs, and they did highlight the fact that a conversation can't even be held. And as soon as you hold a conversation, you're expelled. So how do you have a conversation if you won't even listen? Usually a conversation is give and take until you come to a happy medium, and everybody gets what they need. But when you can't even have the conversation, and the people that are in the position to represent their constituencies, their voices are silenced, then how do you say that this is an equal and just system? Right. If the powers that be can expel the people who are saying something different than what they want to hear. I don't understand it. But that's the way it is.
You know what I really liked about the Tennessee, and when it all came together, it wasn't just a black thing. It wasn't just a black thing. It was a culture thing. And it was a young culture thing is what it was.
Yes.
And you guys, they went in there and they shook the goddamn giant. And the young folks, man, I'm proud of them. They shook the giant and they came out, man. And they're not having it no more. This is the end. I believe I say it now, damn it. This is coming to an end.
It's coming to an end.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was looking at the two gentlemen, and the one that was speaking, I can't remember his name, with the large afro. Justin. And it harkened back to me back in 1969, 1970, 1975, when we all had pros and we all stood up and did it was a Black Student Union, and we all went and we all united, BSU. And it was just that thing. Did any of you, the fro, it just brought back memories of unity to me. Oh, yeah. Whereas where everybody's been scattered now, it is not as unified as it was even 40 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. They did that.
And that's another thing that we would be another show is what has happening, what's going on with the with Black people and the Black culture. I think that that's another whole show that we could actually get into, because I have my own opinion about that, and it's probably not going to sit well with a lot of people, but it's the way it is. But your next one, Yancy, we're gonna move on. I know, sip your coffee, brother.
Who was it was DeSantis was my another one?
DeSantis, yes, Ron DeSantis. What did he sign last night?
He signed
at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, well, no, everybody asleep. Anybody around to depose him. He signed the 6-week abortion law. Many women don't even know that they're pregnant in 6 weeks.
In 6 weeks.
Thank you.
This is insane to me. I don't understand, and I'm gonna say something pretty vulgar.
Go for it, brother.
I don't understand how a guy with a dick can tell a woman what to do. I don't get this. Now, hold it. I'm gonna not qualify this. I am pro-life. I just don't believe that you should run around using abortion as a way of contraception. I don't believe that. But it's not my choice, though. I can't tell you what to do. But I prefer you lean this way than opposed that way. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's not my point. That's not my position. That's not my. I'm not here for that. That's not me.
No, that's the non-melanated people that are want to continue to control women, and that's the only way I have to say it. The thing is that, man, look, we again, I'm with you. I don't think that abortion should be used as contraceptive, and especially nowadays, where there's so many ways not to get pregnant. Okay, you have to almost want to get pregnant, but that's not my opinion. I mean, it's not my. I can't tell you. I shouldn't tell you. You can't do that. And if you get pregnant, you can't get an abortion. The Republican Party that I belong to would have been dead against that. Okay, they'd have been dead against that. And one of the reasons why they in the beginning they weren't is because abortions in abortion clinics were meant for Black people. They were meant to. They were all in the black neighborhoods, and the history of abortion, and the reason why the abortion clinics and what is it called, the place you go that everybody's probably been to, the free clinic or whatever. The reason why they did that, and it's prevalent in those communities. Yeah, say again.
Planned
Parenthood. There you go, Planned Parenthood. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, that was why it was done. But now, why do men, any man, why do we have the right to tell a woman that what you can and cannot do with your body? That's the ultimate in to me. That is the ultimate in just telling you, you're not equal to me, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to do, and you're going to listen.
It's wrong. I'm in the none ya damn business group. And what I mean by none your damn business is the fact that this is my life. It is not a very long life, and I don't want my life controlled by someone who is not living it.
Yes,
so
good
way.
Good.
For you to tell me that I can't do something with my life and restrict me from what I need to survive in this world at this time is, to me, is the worst overreach the government could ever have if this is the land of the free. Because you should be free to choose your religion. You should be free to choose a gun if you want to, but you have to follow the rules. And if you have the freedom that we all seek or want or have been told we have, then you should be free to seek an abortion as a medical procedure to free you from your encumbrance, if that's what you decide, because only you and the Lord will discuss this later in whatever happens after the end of the world. So to me, again, it's so far overreaching, but I understand the politics behind it as well. Because of the population, the white population or the caucus, whatever you want to call it, they abort more children than the minorities. So the idea of them trying to maintain population is where that's coming from. They want to keep their voters, and they want to keep their power. So if the brown wave oversweeps, then they're all pissed off. So that's, I believe, where they're taking this from, is the fact that more white babies are basically aborted than blacks and Mexicans and whatever else. So this is a voter type of thing as well.
I don't understand how that's going to help the population or help their cause in voting.
There's a study that has been said that if they reduce the amount of babies that are being aborted, white babies that are being aborted, that the Caucasians would not be overtaken by the other people and other races in the United States. There's a huge study that was done.
That don't make sense because it's black and browns who has the most population. They're the ones who still doing the fucking. And obviously, excuse my language again. I'm sorry, you guys. Leland done elevated the show, and I'm bringing it back down. I'm sorry.
No, man, go.
Black and brown women are having sex and having children, while white people aren't. I don't understand your position on this.
Well, white people.
That is actually what I read as well, John, is the fact that the numbers show that there are more aborted from that side than there are from this side. And again, if you're declining in population, the last thing you want to do is abort perfectly good voter constituents. And it's long-term thinking. It's not short-term.
It's not short-term.
Long-term. They're saying if they don't stop it now, in 20 years, that wave will be larger than the wave that we have here. So the idea that they want to stop it is a long-term goal. It's not a short-term goal.
Well, that's going to be a real long time, because 75% of all people say they want to keep it. 78%.
Well, that's true. I mean, that is. It's not that it's going to be successful, but that is one of the studies that I read. They were saying the reason why they were doing it is because they're scared that what's going to happen is when 2036 or something like that, that it's going to overtake. The minorities will overtake the supposedly majority, and therefore they're going to have less power. And so I'm thinking they're afraid that we are, as speaking as people of color, are going to do the same thing to them that they did to us, and that's wrong. That's not going to happen.
Once we have the voting authority, and we can fix the gerrymandering, and we can fix the other things that go on in the neighborhoods, because the gerrymandering to maintain power, to maintain this and to maintain that, completely cuts out the minorities or the brown waves or whatever. But that's why it's done, is because they know. That's why they use gerrymandering in certain areas to increase and maintain the populist vote so that they can get their people into power.
Yeah. Well, once you get rid of the electoral votes, that'll take care of gerrymandering, because that means one vote, one person that is on title. It's just one vote. See, I believe that way it should be anyway, because one vote, one person. I don't care if it takes you 6 months to calculate votes. One vote, not that damn.
I agree.
I do agree. I do agree. But
getting back to DeSantis in Florida, I think the overreach there is unbelievable. I think the stretch for power is unbelievable. I can't even believe the people in this state are this naive to the fact that DeSantis is fighting Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. I mean,
man.
You're fighting Mickey Mouse, man. It's supposed to be the happiest place, most inclusive place, most happiest place ever. And you're trying to, you're fighting Disneyland. Jesus Christ.
See,
all places that they fight.
Mickey ain't done nothing to you.
I know.
Exactly. Mickey ain't done nothing but bring joy to millions of people since we were babies.
Show your shirt. Show your Mickey South shirt.
Got Mickey on right now.
I know, right?
So
here's
when you look at him fighting Disneyland, you look at him fighting woke. I bet he can't even spell woke. I ask 10 people what woke means to them and see what they say, because all they hear is the word, but they don't know the context behind it. And that's the part that kills me, because they just want to latch onto it, and anything that says anything about that, then everybody's all frightened like there's going to be a takeover. No, it's simple information.
DeSantis is dangerous. I'm gonna tell you.
He is. He is. Yes, he is.
He's nothing like Trump. He's smart. And he's damn dangerous. So be careful with that character.
See, I agree with you.
I don't think he's going anywhere, to be totally honest with you. He'll get his populist, because there's the radical side. He's again, the migration from the Trump party to the DeSantis parties is basically the same type of thing as far as I can see. Even if they do want to bump heads, again, they're still the same overreach, the same kind of, the penchant for telling people what to do versus letting them do and find out for themselves is where they're at, and I can't agree with any of that. And I'm sorry, I feel sorry for Florida. I honestly do, because they're going to grow up thinking the world is this way, and they're going to get to another state and they're going to find out, oh God, the world's something totally different.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man, with the DeSantis basically is bringing up the underbelly, the right wing radicals, what they're going to be called, I call them Christo fascists. Basically, they want America to be like Iran. Either you're Catholic, either you're going to be Christian, or you're not going to have a say, or you can, or you're not going to have any power. I think that Florida, the people who are in Florida, either you feel that way, or the people who don't feel that way, then what are you doing? Because I don't see any outrage. I don't see any protests. I don't see anything like that at all. So obviously you must agree with this man. And if you agree with this man, then, like I heard this morning, I was listening this morning on the radio, and they said, there has been a major flood in Florida. I said, that's good news. No.
Fort Lauderdale's a mess.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale's okay. A hurricane hit Florida. All right. But that's just me. That's just me. And then
the Lord sent the tidal waves of water so that the ark was built too. Maybe he's trying to send Florida a message.
Yeah. Good point. Your last one, Yancy, which one did you say was the third one that you had? I forgot what it was.
I had your boy, man. Your boy Trump.
Oh, man.
I know. We tired of this joker, but hey, man.
No. Go ahead.
He's shaking like fresh booty meat, man. This dude is scared. Trust me, he's scared. He wrote out. So his lie this week is that he walked into the courthouse. The police officers said, these big burly police officers, they all crying with tears, telling
man,
me, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. We'll get you back in there in 2024. First of all, let me say that you won't see a Republican for in the White House for the next 8 years. Anyway,
he was saying, I know he said they were crying. I'm like, okay,
ain't nobody crying.
And so what do? When you tell the reporter he was crying, he said, let's find out. They drug in several of those police officers. Were you crying? He said, hell no, I wasn't crying.
Look, first off, he was in Manhattan. Okay, he was down there. The people, and I didn't know this until after I moved on the East Coast, they do not like Donald Trump at all. Okay,
no. Donald
Trump is known as a sleazy business person, and he doesn't pay his bills. Okay, that's why he's always in court. The guy, they don't like him. So why would they be crying? Most of those people, and I was watching live footage from like Twitch and a couple other things out there. The people was not. They were very happy. They just wanted to be there. When the deplorable Marjorie Taylor Greene came, she went out there for an op, and she was back in her car and gone in 5 minutes. They told her, get the hell out of here. This is crazy.
I'm just waiting for the hammer to fall in Atlanta. That's the one I'm waiting on. The Atlanta one, because that joker has got him dead to right. He's on the dang video.
He's on tape.
Audio. Tell him to find
look, man. You're right. I remember when it happened. I was screaming.
Same here.
That's illegal. That's illegal. That's illegal.
Yeah. I heard that too, and I was blown away is that they could, and they haven't said nothing and done nothing yet. So I hope this case is ironclad.
Yeah, you would think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking ironclad.
So yeah, so and then of course you got your the Washington D.C. special counselor, whatever you call it. He's dead on his heels too. So finally, Pence said, "I give up. I'll go ahead and testify." And now Trump said, "Whoa, shit." He's trying to stop him from testifying.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's going to be a something that's going to be really important for us to keep our eyes on, because Pence, man, I have no respect for him. This man was at the Capitol. He was at the Capitol. Not only him, his family was there. And if the protesters had their way, they would have hung that man in the yard. They were very serious about this.
Dude, they had gallows set up.
Yeah, yeah. They were gonna hang this man. His family was there.
Gallows set up.
And you know, now he's not gonna say anything against him. I'd have been walking out there like, yo, this is what happened. You know what I mean? Not only the fact, even if I was gonna do it for myself, my family was there. What did you think they would have done to your family, your wife and your daughter? What do you think they would have done to your family, man? That's
John,
crazy.
You're forgetting one important thing. The reason they don't say anything is because they don't want to draw the ire of the radical side, because the radical side is already proven to be extremely violent and extremely capable of carrying out heinous acts. So again, the last thing you want to do is go against in public and then have the ire of the radicals targeting you in any way or your family in any way. So that's why they succumb so easily in public. But in private, of course, there's all kinds of stories about them in private talking about, oh, this isn't going to work. I hate this. This is not going to work. I mean, come on. And so that's why I think in public, they keep saying what they're saying is because they don't want to be shot by one of their own people.
Yeah, but I mean, with me, if my family was down there, when I walked out of there, it'd have been on and cracking. I mean, you know what? Because what happens if they had drug him out on the lawn and hung him in front of his family? I mean, you know, I mean, and again, they thought that this was going to be the total a coup d'etat. They really thought this was going to be a coup d'etat.
Exactly.
And that's why they were taking pictures and all this stuff, you know. That is, and those people are still out there. My thing to them, if you're listening, if you have people who are watching us, where are the leaders of the Proud Boys? In prison for a while. For a while. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Continue.
Anyway,
yes, continue.
Yeah, Yancy, what else? Is that it? Is that what for you?
That's it. I want to know about my man, the drone. I'm tired. I want to know about the drone stuff.
I'm gonna get on him. I'm gonna get his stuff. There's two things I want to talk about. First off, Harlan Crow. Okay, who is Harlan Crow? Harlan Crow is a Republican billionaire that backed Clarence Thomas. Basically, yeah, right. That's his name, Harlan Crow. Now, this man, not only did he do that, and they're saying that he didn't have to report it, but he did have to report that Harlan Crow bought property that Clarence Thomas's mother lived on, improved said property, and Clarence Thomas never said anything about it at all. Was it a lot of money for him? It's 133 grand and something like that. It's not a lot of money for this guy. However, Clarence Thomas was supposed to report that, and he did not. Okay, not only the fact that he wound up taking $500,000 trips on private planes and yachts from this guy. Now, this guy Harlan Crow, just to be serious about him, there are people who are reporting that in his large courtyards in Dallas, they are basically statues of people like, you know, what's his name, the Hitler. He's got a signed copy of Mein Kampf. Okay, this guy is a fascist Nazi, all right, basically, and he's backing a Supreme Court justice.
So not only is his wife a part of the scheme, but the people surrounding him are a part of the scene. Same thing. And I got but 3 words: conflict of interest. Does that make any sense at all? If there's ever a conflict of interest, normally the presiding parties recuse themselves because of their ability or their knowledge of certain things that other people do not know. But to have this guy in a lifetime position with no oversight, who can do these things that are clearly conflict of interest, it does the American people no good. You're not biased, and it clearly shows you're not biased, because you would be turning those things down so that no one would ever challenge your conflict of interest. There would be no question about what you're doing. Right now, there's questions swirling, and there have been questions swirling about him for years. Now even more stuff is coming out. So how does the American people look at his position and his authority and say that this man does not have a conflict in interest and allow him to continue making judgments over others.
That's my issue right there. That's my problem right there. Because he clearly said, well, I didn't know I had to report it. You're the judge of the highest judge in the land, and you gonna tell me you didn't know? I have a problem with that one.
Yeah, he knew. He knew. The thing is, the Republicans are always, George Santos, George, he's the one that's backing all the play for the Democrats, but they're not going to tell you about this guy. They're not going to tell you that this guy is basically a fascist. Okay, they're not going to tell you this guy would love for Hitler type of regime to come in order. They're not going to tell you about that. Okay, and that, like, again, a conflict of interest. Not only that, we should really look at removing him from the court, and that's where I'm at with him. Jack Douglas. Okay, who is Jack Douglas? Jack Douglas was a 21-year-old cadet that leaked information, very, very serious information, onto the net, onto one of these 4chan type websites, and basically what he did was he just messed up all of our intelligence, because we have allies that we actually look at and they're like going, wait a minute, we didn't know they had that information. What the hell? Right? And we because it's intelligence. We have some of the best intelligence in the world, which is the reason why I was so mad when Donald Trump said, I will believe Russia over our own people. But anyway, we have some of the best intelligence in the world. Okay. And again, I've done document retentions for corporations where one of the first thing I did was get a computer, put all of our stuff on it. It wasn't online, it was offline. In order to get into the room, you have to have a card. In order to turn on the computer, you have to have a card. In order to turn on the printer, you have to have a card. It's all backed up and it's all checked by a separate independent service. Why don't we have that in the United States government?
My thoughts on that is, I'm an American. And being American, I'm backing America 100%, good, bad, and indifferent, because I see what's going on around the rest of the world, and I prefer to be here. And wholeheartedly, this is where I live, and this is where I love the people that are in this country and everything. So for me, when you say someone has done something of this sort, the first thing I think of is summarily shot, dragged out into court and shot, because you just put my family at risk. You just put this country at risk. You just put our military. My son's in the Navy. I do not want him at risk because of stuff you're saying out there that could put him or his friends or his family in harm's way. How dare you, as an American, out America to somebody else like this over a freaking gaming station, a games channel, or whatever the hell they're doing? Dude, I'm not a violent person, but when you put America in harm's way, I got no feel for you. I'm ready to take you out and shoot you. I'm done with you.
I'm not a violent person either. I kind of agree. I totally agree with your sentiments, Leland. You screwed my family, all bets off. I'm taking you out. It's just exactly simple. And I think, and that's exactly what he's doing. People understand the validity of what this guy has done.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is serious.
See, this is Yancy's wheelhouse. This is Yancy's wheelhouse, and I thought about you when they said that he would that he got it and folded it and copied it and folded it. I'm like, see, that's Yancy's wheelhouse. He used to work in the White House with all that, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, man. How can you do that?
Well, how can you do that? Obviously, the controls that they had inside the plane, some heads going to fall. The commanding officers, he is out of there.
They gone.
Yeah, they just left controls out.
Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene was on one of these the rags, and she's putting this guy up as a hero. She's saying that he should be put up on hero status. She's saying, and you look it up. I was sitting there going, you know what? See, because they're of the mindset that we're gonna own what they call the libs. So everything that they're for, everything that they do, we have to be against it. Yeah,
exactly.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And Kevin McCarthy, wimp, should be pulling her security clearance immediately. Is she going to hold this guy in higher court and he committed treason? And she's going to hold him in the highest of a court? But he's not going to do it because he wants to make sure he stays speaker. Okay. So, I mean, that's another thing that I just know. I'm done with that. Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to be off of the courts at all. She's a criminal anyway. She shouldn't even be on the court. And There's another thing. North Korea's firing off a missile. And that's dangerous because of what's happening over in around the world, basically. You got China moving on Taiwan. You got this guy shooting off intercontinental ballistic missiles, which is not a good thing at all. So we got to watch that. To me, I just, another thing, and then we go on with everybody. We're going to go and talk about Leland because I'm going real quick. Bob Lee. Who is Bob Lee? Bob Lee was the creator and owner of Cash App. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever used Cash App. It's a cash transfer app, right? I have it on my phone because when you do business with people, sometimes they say, pay me with Zelle or pay me with Cash App. So I have it on my phone. However, he was murdered, and they're saying that the guy knew him, but now there's more coming out in the background. Follow that. The reason why you want to follow that is because in the summer, the Federal Reserve, which has nothing to do with the federal government. However, the Federal Reserve is coming out with a cash transfer app. It's called, what is it called? FedNow? FedNow. They're coming out with a transfer app, okay? Now, the thing is what I've been reading.
What are you saying here, John? Just get to the point. What are you saying here?
It's really difficult. Okay, look, man. When the Fed comes out with that app, right? They don't want to have competition, and the fact that the Fed's going to be able to track everything you do, and the fact that they're going to probably be changing the currency down the road. And
well, there's a big push to devaluize the dollar, and that's why the Saudis and the Koreans and Chinese and the Russians are all pulling.
Not only that, remember, okay, listen, the over in Iran, right? The two parties that hate each other, they hate each other. The two parties, but guess what? China just brokered a peace deal between them.
Right.
China.
Right.
Think about this. And the Saudis decide that they've already cut back on oil. They said they're cutting back on the oil on oil right now. So the price of oil the price of gas is going to go up because the greedy people that we have that runs the oil companies, they're going to pump that up. Okay.
Yep.
And that's going to wind up being it. But the bottom line is, look, man, this is an unholy alliance. And if the people that are in China and the people that are in the Saudis decide that we're going to trade our oil in a different currency, what's going to happen to the United States currency?
That's what we got to figure out.
Yeah, I'm not a financial person by any means. Okay, but what's going to happen to the United States currency? You know, I don't know. So. Okay, now, with all that said, let's get down to the drone guy. Talk to me, Leland. Tell me what you're doing, man.
Fun stuff.
I've been flying these things since about 2017.
Now, which one is that? Which one is that?
It's a DJI Air 2S. And see, that's one of the ones on the federal government's watch list because they think that I'm filming and it's all going back to China.
Yep.
But I bought and lean towards DJI drones because their technology is far superior than anything that we have in America. I mean, flat out, if you lose connectivity, it comes back home. If you run low on power, it comes back home. It keeps very good records of your flights and your altitudes and your speeds, and it comes back home. It's durable and it's semi-affordable depending on the models you get. I started off with the little ones, and then I got a little bit bigger, and then this one right here is my latest one. I got it last September, and I love making aerial videos and taking aerial photos. So after many years of hearing people say, I know a guy, because I started posting stuff, they would come and say, hey, could you make me a video? Could you do this? Could you do that? So when I got let go from my job last May, I decided to try and push my next portion of my life into the drone guy, starting a little business where I can come and do aerial photography and videography for people. I kind of love it.
How long does the battery last, Leland?
It depends on the drone itself, but this one right here will get you about 25 minutes.
Okay.
So if you can fly, and most of my flights don't last that long. It doesn't take that long to circle a house or to circle a building or to check out solar panels in any way. So you have plenty of battery life. I have backups, 3 or 4 batteries, depending on which drone I'm flying. So I can fly for about an hour with no problem.
Okay. I got a question for you. So you can use your drone, let's say for surveying property, surveying land, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely.
Huh. Okay, good.
There's
This is what I'm
drone,
saying.
there's
Now,
actually
Leland.
companies that do orthomosaics, which means the drone goes up and takes pictures of the house or the facility or the land, and it can actually create a orthomosaic, which is a 3D print of what you're looking at. It'll give you the height, the distance, the width, and in certain cases give you the elevation. It can give you the depth, depending on if you're running a LiDAR. If you're running LiDAR, that's the one drone, the technology
LiDAR.
where you can look through the forest and see nothing. You won't see any trees, but you'll see every bump on the ground. And that's
Now,
what they're
Leland,
using to find, say, old Mayan temples and old ritual sites and old burial grounds and stuff, because where the ground has retaken the earth, there's still history up under that, and they can now check that by using LiDAR drones to create orthomosaics so that they can go back and do analysis.
Now, Leland, I want you to explain the difference between me flying my little drone back here in the park and you professionally doing it, and what is involved in it.
Oh, this was a big thing. Back when I started flying, it was the wild, wild west. And there were a ton of bad actors doing things that they should not have been done based on the fact that they were breaking FAA rules. Remember, as soon as you launch a drone in the air, you are in FAA airspace. And that means
what height is that? Is there a height?
You can fly to 400 feet. And that's it, because the small Cessnas and stuff that you're looking at, they start at about 500 feet. So they wanted about 100 feet of distance between regular drones and then civil aviation. And going to school to get my pilot's license, I had to learn about airports. I had to learn about weather. I had to learn about everything that a pilot would have to learn about. I had to learn about and take the test. Now, if you do anything commercially, as in put it on YouTube, and YouTube, when they monetized YouTube, saying that they can put commercials on anything. I know you guys look at YouTube and you see the commercials pop up. Yep. That's monetization, meaning that those people who made the video are getting a couple of cents every time somebody comes on and looks at that video because they're putting a commercial on it. So when they started that, when they started monetizing all of that, there were a lot of guys that got caught by the FAA just by going on YouTube and watching them break all the rules. You're flying in controlled aerospace. You're flying near stadiums. You're flying over people. Ah, there you go. There you go. See, you're ready to go.
Go ahead.
So they had to start. The laws had to catch up with the technology. Again, they've exceeded the technical limits, and they need to rein it in a little bit so that nobody drops bombs on stadiums and nobody can fly in restricted zones like around airports and things like that. There were people that were caught on on YouTube for flying drones and fined. One guy was fined $180,000. Another guy was fined $55,000. You can look this up. Drone fines, because the FAA just went on their website and said, "Oh, infraction 1, infraction 2, infraction 3, infraction 4 at $1,500 a pop." Now it's the discretion of the FAA to levy a fine or to provide a warning. So the more infractions, the more chance of a real fine versus a cautionary, "Hey, we saw your video. We want you to stop flying this way." So, and then you can go on about your business. But to do anything commercially where you make money, you have to have a Part 107 license.
That's what I want to get back. That's what I want to get to. Now, explain about the Part 107 license, because since we've been talking, I was looking it up. Explain about that, bro.
Part 107 license is where you go to school, and the schools aren't that much, and you can probably get in from $149 to $249. but the classes are critical for you to stay safe. For you, to just get a drone and fly all, arbitrarily any place you want to, that's putting you in danger, that's putting the drone safety in danger, and it's putting people possibly in danger. So what you want to do is be as knowledgeable as you can about airspace. You have to know your limits in distance. You have to know your limits in time. You have to know the weather conditions. You have to understand temporary flight restrictions. There's a gambit of things to learn, and this is all. I wish I could flash up my screen here to show you what
we'll do it later. We'll be on it then. You'll be on again.
Okay, because it's a map. It's a road map in the sky, and you have to understand where the planes are coming from and what not to do to stay safe, because the last thing you want to do is cause an accident because of ignorance.
So these guys are just flying all willy-nilly up there in the sky.
Oh, absolutely. When you go on YouTube and you see a guy that's flying his drone, he says, I'm going to do a range test. Well, that's against the law, because when you fly under 107, you're supposed to keep your eyes on the drone so you know where it's at all the time. So when you see somebody take a drone and go 4 clicks out, he's breaking every rule you can. You can no longer see that drone. You are breaking rules.
A drone can do 4 clicks?
Oh, easily. My drone can do 7 miles.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And see, that's the scary part, is people flying them further than they need to go to maybe do things they shouldn't be doing. So and then the FAA is also working on beyond visual line of sight. It's called BVLOS. It's beyond. That's what it's called, because what happens is airplanes have airworthiness certificates that say that they can fly over cities and they can fly over people, and you shouldn't have a problem with it falling down. There's only a few drones that have the BVLOS, out of line of sight, and so until all drones have that, then you are restricted to flying within your own line of sight.
Wow, this is interesting. I do have a question. Now I lost it. Damn, that's oldness. That's pure.
It'll come back.
That's pure oldness right there. But
it'll come back.
I do have to sign out because I do have an appointment I got to get to.
Okay.
Understood. I hope you can edit this, John, and make it look good, sound good. Leland, thank you so much, man. You have really elevated the show. I really appreciate it. Good seeing you too, my friend.
Yeah, it's excellent seeing you.
How do we get in contact with you?
Same way you do right now. Just call me, hit John. I'll send you my number offline. You can hit me up about anything you want to.
Yeah, because
it's a pleasure watching you guys. I enjoyed the show. You guys crack me up. You have me laughing and cracking up. I'm saying, well, I got to talk to Yancy about that.
I think I want to utilize you for some work. So
I'm good to go. I'm good to go. Like I said, I've got everything that I need. My licenses, I've my business licenses, my DBAs, I've all the stuff that I need to do a legitimate business are in order now. So I'm waiting for the weather to change so that I can get back out there and start doing some more photography, because I'm going to aim at, the pool guys, the landscapers, the tree trimmers, the solar panel guys, construction sites, things of that nature, because the drone really does enhance your ability to see something from a different perspective. And that's what I'm pushing, is like, sure, you can see it from the ground, but until you see it from the sky in a large matter, you really don't have the perspective, and so that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, perfect. Quick question. Picture behind you on your right-hand side. You do that? I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the pictures that we took in Hawaii, and the wife had it mounted on the canvas. And
gorgeous.
Thank you. Nice. Thank you. She'll love to hear that, because that's one of her pictures that she took, and she surprised me with that, and I put it up. And every time we walk in, we think of Hawaii. So
yeah, there you go.
Good wonderful job. Place. Wonderful place.
Guys, I do got to sign out.
Yancy, we will talk to you again. We will definitely talk to you again next week. Right?
I'll be talking to you a couple times this next week, John.
Oh, really? Sir. Okay, great. Wonderful. And then Leland, parting, let's see, we're good, because we're gonna probably parting shot. Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
So you want something?
Okay, you're out. Peace. Leland, when like, say for instance, someone wants to have if they want to contact you, other than just Yancy, but the public that might want to see this.
They can find me at droneguySJC.com. That's my website. My number's there. You can contact me through there, or you can get in contact me at spark1time@gmail.
Wonderful.
And you can also, contact me through my business email, which is droneguySJC@gmail.com.
That is wonderful. I want you guys to think about that, because not only just for there's things that people do. If, say, for instance, you're having a party or something, you want a different perspective, and I started this a long time ago. Leland went way further than what I did. I didn't think about the drone. I just got this on so I can play around with my grandson. But then I started noticing the what you can do with them, and the things that the public could use them for. One of the things that, like Yancy was saying, people that do work, or people that are going to do surveillance over property, right? You could actually just hire Leland, and they can go. If you have say, for instance, you have a real estate company, you want to have that, you hire Leland, and he'll knock that out for you. A good, very good, drone shot and a good walkthrough, and with all the technology that Leland has, will make a difference in how you sell that home, or how you sell that property, or what you do with that property. And I'm a big believer in that. And I think that this is going to be one of the things that will be up and coming also. People have security people that they're not going to, in remote places, that these drones are going to replace them, because they will fly them up, and then infrared and all that kind of stuff. People come across the border. I read about a whole different host of things that I'm going to talk to you about offline. I want to form a partnership. But anyway, there's a couple of things that is going to be coming up in the future. In the future. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and another big thing that and finishing up here, another big thing is search and rescue.
Yes.
The idea that you can get it up to a certain height and equipped with the say night vision and or heat thermal imaging, you can detect anything on the ground with the heat signature extremely quickly. And then there's been several instances where the drone was able to find a lost person in the woods, not without getting other people lost, hurt, or lost in the forest, because they can track your thermal image and get to you much quicker, or guide the people to you much quicker using the drone. I was in talk with a group of people called Flying Lions out of San Diego, and they have a system in San Diego, Chula Vista, where their first responders launch drones when there's a 911 to get eyes on the problem, so that they can direct fire services, ambulatory services, police services to the area quicker than they can actually get to the site to see what's going on. So it has a lot of advantages that are going to save lives, and I'm just glad to be a part of it, to be totally honest with you. I'm loving flying and the capability.
That is wonderful. Now, Leland is going to have a podcast. I'm pushing him, you guys, but he's going to have a podcast called The Drone Guy, and that's going to come on once a week. But there's a lot of different things that we can't cover here that's going to be so interesting. And I want Leland to also, when he does his podcast, to tell you his story. There's a program that I'm going to have. It's called Amazing People, right? Everyday people doing amazing things, and Leland is one of the people. And we'll go back to his story on how he got started and worked for a major aerospace industry, and where he worked, and if he wants to reveal that. But I tell you, I am so proud of this guy. When you looked at, we came from a little place called Pomona, and I'm telling you, the people that has come from Pomona are doing amazing things. There's a lot of people that are doing amazing things. When someone reported one time, told me, "Oh, that's a throwaway town." When I told them I was from Pomona, and they said that's a throwaway town, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the Sintown project, to bring them to the point, like you were saying earlier, about how money goes into a certain area. Pomona was actually redlined, and there was no money that was supposed to be going to that area, to the schools or anything. It's just it's very important that we understand that the people that come from places like Pomona and from Sintown, the obstacles that we had to overcome just to get it, not even equal, just to get in the game, just to get in the game. That's the story that I want to tell. And that's the story I want each and every one of us, because we all have our own story to talk about, right? So anyway, listen, Leland, Oh man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show here, man. And we will talk about, when you're going to air your show and that kind of thing. Look forward to coming back, bro. I really, you add a lot to the conversation, and look forward to coming back, man. I'm telling you. This is wonderful.
The invite, John. I appreciate the invite, and I would share again. Each one teach one is where I come from. So if I can help somebody else understand, point them in the right direction, give them guidance, on the true and narrow, I'm all for it. So again, each one teach one.
So seriously, guys, listen. Look out for the Drone Guy from San Juan Capistrán for his podcast. It will be on the Infoblips network. The Infoblips podcast network, and we are on Spotify, we are on Amazon, we're on everything. We're on TuneIn, which is very difficult to get on nowadays, but I've been on TuneIn for 3 years, so they grandfathered me in, right? So TuneIn and all of the major people we're on. I mean, we're on Audible now. We're on Audible. Yeah, we're on Audible now. Okay, if you go to Audible and if you're a member in Audible, you go to Audible, you will see Infoblips and it'll tell you the whole thing. Sundays with Shay. Do not forget Sundays with Shay. She is a diamond in the rough. This woman is doing a phenomenal job with her show, and she's up and coming. Okay.
Yes,
but her show will air on Sunday. We're building this thing, man. One of the things I desire is for us who have industries, who have just like Leland, he probably got some business from Yancy. Yancy may have somebody else. That's what Infoblips is about, right? Because we don't get enough of that. We as people do not get enough of celebrating each other's accomplishments, using each other's businesses, okay, in order to accomplish the same goal that you would if you get somebody else. So again, this Infoblips is not just about politics. This show is about politics. Exactly. But Infoblips is way more than politics. Go to infoblips.com. And if you scroll down, you're going to see healthcare. You're going to see marketplace. You're going to see, and from Kaiser Healthcare, yes, you're going to see AP, but AP will have stories from around the world, and they're the go-to for verifiable factual information around the world, not just Democrat, Republican. There's a lot of things happening in the world that we should stay up on too. Also, they have Telly's Table, which is a cooking show. I'm looking to get another friend of ours on to have he's a caterer, Louis Peters, to get him on, so we can start celebrating each other in a way that we can watch when we want to, listen when we want to, and that kind of thing.
Awesome.
So anyway, guys, go ahead. Yes, that's why I love it. I love it. So guys, listen, that is the weekly wrap up for this week. All right. Please look forward to next week. Please listen, guys, like or subscribe or leave a comment. We need to be rated. We need people to know that people are watching us, but we need to be rated. None of us are making money. Every time we put on one of these things, costs me money, but that's not the point. I want to build a media company that is from the people, right? Of the people. So we can do our thing together. Right. Anyway, guys, listen, that's it for Infoblips. Please like the film, like the film. I'm already thinking about films. Like the program, the podcast. Okay. We really appreciate you from listening. Peace, you guys. Take care. Until next week. Take care, you guys. When like, say for instance, someone wants to have if they want to contact you, other than just Yancy, but the public that might want to see this.
They can find me at DroneGuySJC.com. That's my website. My number's there. You can contact me through there, or you can get in contact me at spark1time@gmail.
Wonderful.
And you can also contact me through my business email, which is DroneGuySJC@gmail.com.
That is wonderful. I want you guys to think about that, because not only just for there's things that people do. If, say, for instance, you're having a party or something, you want a different perspective, and I started this a long time ago. Leland went way further than what I did. I didn't think about the drone. I just got this on so I can play around with my grandson. But then I started noticing the what you can do with him, and the things that the public could use them for. One of the things that, like Yancy was saying, people that do work, or people that are going to do surveillance over property, right? You could actually just hire Leland, and they can go. If you have say for instance, you have a real estate company, You want to have that, you hire Leland, and he'll knock that out for you. A good, very good, drone shot and a good walkthrough, and with all the technology that Leland has, will make a difference in how you sell that home, or how you sell that property, or what you do with that property. And I'm a big believer in that. And I think that this is going to be one of the things that will be up and coming also. People have security people that they're not going to, in remote places, that these drones are going to replace them, because they will fly them up, and then infrared and all that kind of stuff. People come across the border. I read about a whole different host of things that I'm going to talk to you about offline. I want to form a partnership. But anyway, there's a couple of things that is going to be coming up in the future. In the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and another big thing that and finishing up here, another big thing is search and rescue.
Yes.
The idea that you can get it up to a certain height and equip with the say night vision and or heat thermal imaging, you can detect anything on the ground with the heat signature extremely quickly. And then there's been several instances where the drone was able to find a lost person in the woods, not without getting other people lost, hurt, or lost in the forest, because they can track your thermal image and get to you much quicker, or guide the people to you much quicker using the drone. I was in talk with a group of people called Flying Lions out of San Diego, and they have a system in San Diego, Chula Vista, where their first responders launch drones when there's a 911 to get eyes on the problem, so that they can direct fire services, ambulatory services, police services to the area quicker than they can actually get to the site to see what's going on. So it has a lot of advantages that are going to save lives, and I'm just glad to be a part of it, to be totally honest with you. I'm loving flying and the capability.
That is wonderful. Now, Leland is going to have a podcast. I'm pushing him, you guys, but he's going to have a podcast called The Drone Guy, and that's going to come on once a week. But there's a lot of different things that we can't cover here that's going to be so interesting. And I want Leland to also, when he does his podcast, to tell you his story. There's a program that I'm going to have. It's called Amazing People, right? Everyday people doing amazing things, and Leland is one of the people. And we'll go back to his story on how he got started and worked for a major aerospace industry, and where he worked, and if he wants to reveal that. But I tell you, I am so proud of this guy. When you looked at, we came from a little place called Pomona, and I'm telling you, the people that has come from Pomona are doing amazing things. There's a lot of people that are doing amazing things. So when someone reported one time, told me, "Oh, that's a throwaway town." When I told them I was from Pomona, and they said that's a throwaway town, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the Sintown project, to bring them to the point, like you were saying earlier, about how money goes into a certain area. Pomona was actually redlined, and there was no money that was supposed to go into that area, to the schools or anything. It's just it's very important that we understand that the people that come from places like Pomona and from Sintown, the obstacles that we had to overcome just to get it, not even equal, just to get in the game, just to get in the game. That's the story that I want to tell. And that's the story that I want each and every one of us, because we all have our own story to talk about, right? So anyway, listen, Leland, oh man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show here, man. And we will talk about, when you're going to air your show and that kind of thing. Look forward to coming back, bro. I really, you add a lot to the conversation, and look forward to coming back, man. I'm telling you, this is wonderful.
The invite, John. I appreciate the invite, and I would share again. Each one teach one is where I come from. So if I can help somebody else understand, point them in the right direction, give them guidance, on the true and narrow, I'm all for it. So again, each one teach one.
So seriously, guys, listen, look out for the Drone Guy from San Juan Capistrán for his podcast. It will be on the Infoblips network, the Infoblips podcast network. And we are on Spotify. We are on Amazon. We're on everything. We're on TuneIn, which is very difficult to get on nowadays. But I've been on TuneIn for 3 years, so they grandfathered me in, right? So TuneIn and all of the major people we're on. I mean, we're on Audible now. We're on Audible. Yeah, we're on Audible now. Okay, if you go to Audible and if you're a member in Audible, you go to Audible, you will see infoblips and it'll tell you the whole thing. Sundays with Shay. Do not forget Sundays with Shay. She is a diamond in the rough. This woman is doing a phenomenal job with her show, and she's up and coming. Okay,
yes,
but her show will air on Sunday. We're building this thing, man. One of the things I desire is for us who have industries, who have just like Leland, he probably got some business from Yancy. Yancy may have somebody else. That's what Infoblips is about, right? Because we don't get enough of that. We as people do not get enough of celebrating each other's accomplishments, using each other's businesses, okay, in order to accomplish the same goal that you would if you get somebody else. So again, this Infoblips is not just about politics. This show is about politics. Exactly. But Infoblips is way more than politics. Go to infoblips.com, and if you scroll down, you're going to see healthcare. You're going to see marketplace. You're going to see, and from Kaiser Healthcare, yes, you're going to see AP, but AP will have stories from around the world, and they're the go-to for verifiable factual information around the world, not just Democrat, Republican. There's a lot of things happening in the world that we should stay up on too. Also, they have Telly's Table, which is a cooking show. I'm looking to get another friend of ours on to have he's a caterer, Louis Peters, to get him on, so we can start celebrating each other in a way that we can watch when we want to, listen when we want to, and that kind of thing. Awesome. So anyway, guys, go ahead. Yes, that's why I love it. I love it. So guys, listen, that is the weekly wrap up for this week.